Good morning dear students and welcome to Genesis. आज के इस क्लास पे we will learn description of different floral parts of a flower. In my previous class I have already explained कि in a flower there are 4 wools. The outermost wool is called calyx. This calyx is made up of many sepals together. This calyx is usually green in color, लेकिन कल हमने ये भी पढ़ा था कि there are certain conditions where the sepal and petal of a flower fuse to form a structure which is called tepal, and this condition is called perianth condition. So imagine where you see a flower where you do not find a sepal or a petal separate, but you find a structure which is brightly colored, then you are going to call that condition as a petaloid sepal. मतलब सेपल का ग्रीन कलर रहा नहीं, पेटल के कलर को उसने पिकअप कर लिया है. सो सेपल्स विच आर ऑलवेज ग्रीन इन कलर, समटाइम्स देयर आर कंडीशंस वेयर यू विल फाइंड दी सेपल्स आर कलरफुल. व्हाई? बिकॉज तब वो सेपल्स नहीं है, दे आर पेटलॉइड सेपल्स. इसका एक एग्जांपल है गुलमोहर. नंबर, इफ वी टॉक अबाउट नंबर, देन कैलिक्स आर यूजुअली 5 इन नंबर. दे कैन बी लिटिल लेस और मोर देन दैट ऑल्सो. देन फ्री सेपल एंड फ्यूज सेपल कंडीशन. फ्लावर्स में 2 कंडीशन में सेपल्स पाए जाते हैं. These sepals can be absolutely free. There are 5 free sepals here. This condition is known as polysepalous, and there is another condition where they are fused into one structure. This condition is known as gamosepalous. Next to this, there is another structure that is often seen in some flowers, which is known as epicalyx. याद रखना, epicalyx is a second series of sepals. Sepal के ठीक नीचे होता है. Not necessarily in all flowers can you see epicalyx, but in certain flowers you will get to see epicalyx. Last, what is the function of this? The function of calyx is mainly protection, and if they are green in color, then they perform photosynthesis. The next wool is called corolla, and it is made up of petals, and these petals are usually brightly colored. Now petals can be present in one circle, okay, in the multiple of 3 and 5, or sometimes they are also present in 2 separate circles of petals, like example poppy. And sometimes these petals can also be spirally arranged, example of which is water lily. Again, just like in sepals, these petals can remain free. If they are free, we use the term polypetalous, or they may be fused to form a tube-like or funnel-like structure. Then we call them gamopetalous. Function of petals: they are attractive because they have to attract pollinating agents and help in the process of pollination, and they also protect the androecium and the gynoecium of the flower. The third wool is of androecium. This wool is made up of stamen. Now one stamen has 2 subparts. The lobed structure is known as anther, that is followed by a thread-like structure which is called filament. If you look into the anther, then inside each anther there are 2 pollen sac. Sac means bag. And what does this bag contain? Inside the bag are the pollen grains. So when this bag bursts open, it releases the pollen grain into the environment. Now if the stamen is free, then that condition is known as polyandrous condition. But in many flowers, these stamen appear in fused form. So there are 3 such fused states in which the stamen can appear. Number 1 is monoadelphous. Mono means one. So in this, all the stamen, they unite together to form one structure. This is seen in China rose and in cotton. The second condition is diadelphous, where there are 2 bundles found, or there is 1 bundle and 1 free stamen. Like in this condition, there is 1 free stamen and other one is a bundle of many stamen together. This is a diadelphous condition because there are 2 structures, 2 bundles, separate bundles. Example P. And the third condition is polyadelphous condition, where there are many bundles together. This is the example of a polyadelphous condition, bombax. Now let us find out the various floral conditions in case of gynoecium. Now we have come to the final wool, which is gynoecium. We know this wool is basically made up of carpel, and one carpel has 3 subparts in it. The topmost part is called stigma. It is knob shaped. Usually it is seen that this part is feathery, and it also has glandular papillae in it. See, I'll tell you why this is feathery, because this is the area where the pollen grains come and land. And why is it glandular? Because they produce certain secretions on consumption of which the grain can grow its pollen tube. So this is the reason why this particular structure will have hair and will have glandular papillae in it. Next to it is is the style. It basically connects the stigma to the ovary, and the final structure is the ovary. This enlarged part contains ovules inside it. There can be one ovule, there can be multiple ovules, and inside this ovule what is found is the egg. And remember one thing, once fertilization happens, these ovules, they get transformed into seeds. We will study this in details afterward. Just remember that the ovules, they become seed in a fruit. Let us understand how these ovules remain intact in ovary. The ovules remain intact in ovary by some structures which are called placenta. This placenta connects the ovule with the wall of the ovary. So, placenta are those structures that basically attaches the ovule to the wall of the ovary and thereby helping them to remain exactly in the position. Now, we know that most of the flowers that we see around us, they are bisexual. That means they have both androecium and gynoecium. But those flowers which are unisexual, they are found on two kinds of plants. Imagine a condition where in one plant, both male and female flower exist. Separate male flower and separate female flower exist. Then such a plant will be called a monoaceous plant. Mono means one. Examples, maize, cucumber, pumpkin. So in these conditions, there will not be a separate male plant or a female plant. There will be one plant, and in that particular plant, there are going to be separate male flowers and separate female flower. On the other hand, when we talk about dioecious plants, here there are going to be two separate plants. One plant bearing only male flowers, another plant bearing only female flowers. Example of which are palm and papaya. After this, let us understand another term which is placentation. This basically comes from placenta. Placentation is the manner in which the ovules remain attached to the wall of the ovary. If you are asked to define placenta, then placenta is a structure that attaches ovule to the wall of the ovary, and placentation is the manner in which they remain arranged inside the ovary. The last definition of this chapter is inflorescence. Inflorescence refers to the arrangement of flower on the axis of a plant. And remember one thing, there are different kinds of arrangements which are available in the nature. So sometimes we find a flower appearing from the axil of a leaf. So this is the axil of the leaf, and from here the flower appears. Sometimes we also find them appearing on the tip or on the side branches of the plant. So there are different ways in which these flowers are arranged in the nature. When we go to higher grades, we are going to study this in details, but right now we must know what is inflorescence. Inflorescence is the arrangement of the flower on the axis of a plant. So with this, we come to end of this chapter. I hope I could explain this to you in a lucid manner. If you have liked my video, share it with your friends, do revise, and if you have any doubt, post it in the comment box. Thank you.